Hey there, boys and ghouls. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollow Weekly. Nick and Trevor here with Wrong Turn 5 Bloodlines.
That's right.
May I have your attention, please?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I don't know what to feel anymore.
Horror. Something even more terrible than you.
This is the third entry into our new series, Watching Wrong Turn the Wrong Way. And let me just for the people who haven't watched Wrong Turn 5, let me give you a brief synopsis here by reading my favorite summarization, which is Google's.
Yeah.
They haven't. It's just nice and tidy. I like the way it looks here.
Yes.
Okay, a small mining town hosts the Mountain Man. I forgot about the Mountain Man Festival.
Yeah, yes.
We just finished this movie and I forgot all about it. Okay, a small mining town hosts the Mountain Man Festival. Which is funny. They actually talk about Coachella, and we're recording this of the second week of Coachella.
They said it was bigger than Coachella.
They said it was
bigger than Coachella. Now.
It's got a history. So there's a Mountain Man Festival going on Halloween. This movie takes place on Halloween.
Nope.
I forgot
that too.
I forgot that too. I'm learning a lot about the movie we just watched. The wild night of costumes, drinking, and partying turns into a bloodbath when an inbred family of hillbilly cannibals targets several college students and a cop for dinner.
Yep. The last part happens.
Yes.
For dinner, was that last line?
They said for dinner.
No,
there was no table setting.
They didn't need anybody.
They ate some ears and a couple intestines. It was more of a snackage situation than like a formal dinner.
They cooked the one guy, but then they blew him up.
Yeah.
Like they cooked him in the barrel like a rotisserie chicken.
They did.
But they didn't cook him. They didn't eat him.
Which I thought was great. I thought was great. I was like, oh, they're gonna like season them up. They're gonna cook them, but then they just
blew him up.
Yeah. There's a handful of things that we'll get into when we go, just talk, go through the movie, but they very much set it up to do like a handful of stunts, and that was one of them. They're like, when he blows up, we're gonna send that fucking cop flying.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I have to say about it. It does have some like legit stunts, which is nice to see in movies sometimes.
Yeah, there's one person getting thrown by an explosion, and like two pretty good looking car wrecks.
Yeah, a couple car crashes. Yeah,
and these movies, when we first started the series, I went back and looked at like the budget, and most of these are like $1 to $2, if that, $2 million. It's usually pretty firm at the $1 million mark, and to have some stunt scenes like that, like those are not cheap.
No,
and they're well done in this
because those are the only things that are done well in them for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we're this is the third movie. We watched the remake.
Yes.
Cut My Life into Pieces. This is my Wrong Turn Last Resort.
That's right.
Which I had to cut. If you listen to that episode, I used a different take because I didn't realize when I did the actual take, and maybe I'll put it here. I need to get it confirmed that I have like some sort of dyslexia because
you kept missing.
I kept messing up. I kept calling it like Turn Wrong 6. Cut my life into pieces. This is wrong 6. Shit. Cut my life into pieces. This is wrong 6. Turn last resort.
It was like wrong
6 turn last.
Yes.
Yeah. And then when I was going to edit it, you went close enough. Let me look at the marker here. Okay, the 4-minute mark. I gotta put that clip in so they know what we're talking about. I was literally editing it and I went, woof. I need to either slow down or get that, get a pill.
Because you did it like 3 times in the same way. I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, the one that I used I think was like the closest. But I'll put that in there. Fresh reaction coming out of Wrong Turn.
Yes.
5 Bloodlines. I keep these titles. The Bloodlines had no.
It didn't say that in the actual movie.
They did not talk about the lineage or bloodlines.
And it didn't pop up as like in the titles either.
Oh, it didn't.
No,
I didn't even know.
Well, it had the hand.
Yeah.
Remember? Gotta talk about the Wrong Turn 5 hand.
That was a cool.
I like that.
That was a great. It kind of reminded me of the Left 4 Dead video game covers. Where, they have the one, the 2 up. What'd you think about the opening scene of this one?
What was the opening?
It was the oh my god, how did it open up? Was it were they having sex? Or did they go straight in, or was it the news reporter getting murdered?
No, it was straight up sex.
That's one of my notes.
Because I think the last one did too. I think.
Yeah, this is a very Randy franchise.
Yeah, very. Yeah, because they had the little blurb about the missing town.
Yeah, it opens up with like
in 18 something or 1914 or some
18
shit.
something. Yeah,
which I'm assuming is what the next movie is about. Because this is a sequel to that one. But these are all
yes.
prequels.
So for people listening, and I have to get so God have mercy on my dyslexic ass, because Wrong Turn 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm gonna read this slow so I get this correct here. Okay, it is the 5th installment of the Wrong Turn film series, and is both a sequel to Wrong Turn 4. So the movie we just watched is a sequel, obviously, to the 4th one.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. But it is also a prequel to Wrong Turn, the first one, the 2003 film.
Oh, gee, yeah. I don't know how.
I don't know either. I was waiting for this to maybe it ends with them crashing their car, and that's why there's something happening on the road that leads to the first one, where the cast for the first one end up making an actual wrong turn.
Again, the wrong turns were made.
Listen, I cannot believe we are 3 films deep, and there is 0 wrong turns.
Actually, there was one wrong turn. Remember
the woman? Yeah. There was a woman trying to get passes. She was trying to get a pass to a music festival from a cop.
Yeah.
Who I don't think would have a pass for the security for this thing. You just get paid by the hour to guard them. And she says, I think they actually say it twice. She's like, I think I made a wrong turn. And then he's like, blah blah blah, wrong turn.
Huh?
Yeah. And then they go to the car to have one of 3 sex scenes in this movie,
and then they never go back to him.
That's it. They don't die. Nothing bad happens. It is a very confusing.
Does she make it to the festival? I don't know.
I don't know. Did she? What was the name of the band? It was like the
Cheetah Whores.
The Cheetah Whores. Yeah, I don't know if they ever got to see the Cheetah Whores perform.
Or yeah.
It's just kind of all over the place. All right, let me run through my notes here that I took through the movie. Okay. Now I will say this.
Fire.
Rapid fire round. I will say this off the rip though, that I think this is the most enjoyable one that we've watched so far. Mm. The first one was too long. I mean, it was so long. Didn't have any of the mutant hillbillies in it.
It took itself real serious.
Yeah. The last one was, I mean, Bloodline or not? Wrong Turn. Last Resort was single ply toilet paper. It was rough.
It was rough and I don't know, gross and kind of a gross, it's not in a good gross way.
Yeah,
more of a ew.
Yeah. Whereas this one, it felt like it had the qualities that a horror fan would love in a really cheap B movie.
Yes.
And the gore was great. There was, you had Doug Bradley, Pinhead himself in there, who just outclasses everyone in the acting category. God love him. They gave him some dirt ass lines, but there's some scenes where he actually pretty much crushes it.
He was having ham sandwiches left and right.
Yeah.
He was.
So I did enjoy this movie. It has a lot more than the other 2, I think. So I think we're on a good.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, we're sort of we're evolving, going backwards into a better, we're moonwalking into a better film.
Mm-hmm.
I really do feel that way. This was a mad increase from Last. Last Resort is just it actually kind of baffles me a little bit. It
was made.
That it was not that it was made, because sure, franchises are gonna have 8, 9 films, whatever, but did they watch any of the other movies? Because that's the thing. Okay, so
yeah.
we are like I said in the last episode, we are kind of doing detective work. We're having to piece it backwards. I will to fill that in. This has nothing to do with Last Resort. I thought when
or the next one, the next last 2 have not had anything to do with.
There's 0 going on, no wrong turns made. I was hoping when it cut to the teens having sex in the tent, I was like, maybe that's our guy.
From
Last Resort. No, just these are all. It is just always like 5 random college kids who are gonna get killed, Looney Tune style. Which I actually I wrote that down.
Yeah, it was. Actually, it was.
So I did like this movie. Do you feel the same way?
It was. I wouldn't say it was great,
But
it was
a general improvement.
Yes, yeah.
Like you didn't feel like this walking away from Wrong Turn 6.
No. No, it had some fun stuff for sure. And it takes place on like a giant like we figured out it was like some like
This was another Bulgarian,
some sort of Bulgarian backlot of some movie backlot in Bulgaria because it kept I kept thinking it was like on like the Paramount. There was a 20th Century Fox movie, so I assumed it was like maybe they filmed it on the lot there because it's super cheap. Because it's like legit a backlot for sure.
Yeah,
which was kind of fun because like they just kept running in circles.
Yes,
You kept saying the same things over and over again. It was just like this big festival was happening within a block of like that's it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very close.
There's a sheriff's building on one side and there's a thrift shop on the other, and that's basically it.
And then right down the street, not too far, is a gas station.
There's like a bookstore I kept seeing too. Was it the Sage's bookstore?
Oh my god! Yeah, and if you've ever been to like Universal Studios or like do one of like the backlot tours or something like that. Yeah, it looks it is like exactly like that. Like when they go like, hey, here's the Midwestern town that can pass as Ohio or Pennsylvania. Like that's where we're at for the whole movie, and you can like see where the lot stops, and it's just like dirt.
They walked off the lot the one time.
Yeah, there's a shot where they walked off.
They just walked off the pavement, and like they just kept walking.
Having the lot made it feel like more of a fun, cheesy horror film.
Yeah, because the jail cell too, what they spent a lot of time too, was just a set as well. Like everything looked like a set. Like
it looked like a porn parody of Wrong Turn. Like whatever the porn parody of Wrong Turn, like whatever that set is, they use for like the actual they use for the actual sequels. I will say before we meet the news anchor who gets her hand cut off, that then like splats out into the 5, which is the logo which we were talking about. Actually, I thought it's really cheesy, but it's also kind of kick ass a little bit too. The opening shot of the town during Halloween with the news anchor, it kind of I felt like that was like its Scream shot.
Oh yeah.
Did you get Scream vibes from that too?
Now that you say that, yeah. From like where she's outside the high school.
Yeah,
it was like that shot basically.
Yeah, it felt exactly like that, and that's like one of the first, like probably the only crane shot in the movie, but like it had some pizzazz to it, which was really.
It did have some camera moves too. Like every now and then, I was like, "Oh wait, that's the camera's moving."
Yeah, like there was one shot where after the kids are all they get thrown in jail because they crashed their car for almost hitting Doug Bradley, which I cannot tell you the name of Doug Bradley's character, nor am I going to look it up because it's Doug Bradley.
It's Maynard.
It's Maynard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going, Doug Bradley.
I only know that because the guy from Tool was Maynard, so. The singer from Tool was Maynard, and so
I keep hearing,
anybody named Maynard, I'm always like, it's like okay.
And I keep hearing Mater, like from
like toe Mater without the toe. Yeah.
No, from fucking Cars.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what he says.
Oh, okay. I just watched Cars for the first time. Like
one of my books is like it's like like toe Mater without the toe. That's his name.
No matter what you say surrounding that character, I hear it in Larry the Cable Guy's voice. It's pretty grounded around that. So no, it was interesting that we both got like a little Scream vibage. Oh, there was another shot. What I was saying was they almost hit Doug Bradley while they're driving on this road. They get into a car crash. He for some reason just decides to open fire and slice the dude's forearm with a knife. 3 of the other boys start to just kick the living shit out of them. Cops come, they get thrown in jail. That's how we go to jail, where we're going to be for a lot of this movie. Yeah. But there was a cool camera shot where I think it's the first lady to die. She's walking back and forth, and they're doing like a little dolly movement, and like she stops right in the middle of the 2 bars, and it was like a really good. There's some banger shots in this movie, man.
Yeah.
There is. I called it the Kurt Russell hand shot from the thing.
Oh, yeah,
the news anchor, and if you look up Wrong Turn 5, I think it's one of like the first images you see where one of the hillbilly with the long white hair cuts off her fingers.
The giggly one.
The giggly one. But she finds him. He slices her hand off. And if you've ever seen the Thing, there's a shot where, when Kurt Russell's testing the little blood. Yeah. I never knew this, but it's not his hand.
No.
And that's how the little thing shoots out. I forget. Did you read the one that told me that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah,
because it was on like the Shudder.
That's right.
No, it was on the Eli Roth thing because Eli Roth says it.
The history of horror.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and after you know that and watch the Thing, it still looks incredible.
Yeah.
But like it adds. Yeah. You just kind of can tell.
Yeah.
They do that in this film. This film, she gets her fingers cut off and she's doing the Kurt Russell holding my hand.
She gives him the finger and puts it right up in his face for like 20 minutes.
Gives him a monologue. This means fuck you.
And then he cuts off the finger. Yeah, it's like one of those.
What did you think? Did you know Doug Bradley was in this going into the movie?
I think I did. I think he's in the third one too. Spoiler.
Whoa.
I don't know if he's in the fourth one though. I think it's a weird like.
They seem to weave in and out of time in this.
And he's not in the new. Well, he's not in the new ones. He's not in the old ones. I'm not sure what his.
We know for sure we've seen the last of Doug Bradley in the Wrong Turn franchise.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be in he should be in the original one now, but he's not.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be an ass end into the first Wrong Turn.
Yeah,
and I don't remember seeing any. I just remember being the three hillbillies.
Yeah. And not the ones.
Maybe there's like a pop-up book of what happens between this and that. What did you think about our main cop in this film?
She was very incompetent.
Dude,
she was like the worst cop.
Yeah, Sheriff Angela.
Yeah.
Probably one of the worst cinematic
characters.
Law enforcement characters.
Yeah.
She's just constantly letting people out of jail. Like they're in jail.
She's first of all introduced as like a hard ass, because because she was in the military or something like that.
There was
something like she runs it like the military.
Yeah.
She's like, well, that's not like, and then she just proceeds to give every person that walks in there a gun,
freedom,
and lets them go. And just be like, you go here. I'm gonna stay here. I have to watch this guy, quote unquote.
Yeah, it just letting people out of jail. Like they're just sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, officer, actually, it was just me. Can my friends go? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right. But stick around. There's a motel down the street.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You're free, but I have to tell you where you're gonna lodge. Shortly after, she's giving people shotguns.
Yeah, she deputizes the two guys.
Yeah, she gives them a license to kill.
And then she just leaves them.
She says, "Well, see ya."
She gives the drunk guy a shotgun as well.
Yeah, and there's no.
Who then proceeds to almost kill one of the other people.
With as cheesy as this movie was, I was surprised because like Doug Bradley's just given these like really like kick-ass cheesy lines throughout the whole movie. I was surprised when she handed him the shotgun. She didn't say anything, by the way. No. So like I've never like handled a gun. I've only ever played video games, so like I don't know if I trust myself with it. I'm surprised they didn't do that line of, "You know how to use one of these?" Yeah.
I play video games.
Pull the trigger. Aim and shoot.
Yeah.
I was waiting for something like that. We
didn't cock it.
We didn't get any of that. One of my notes was this is a horny ass franchise.
Yes.
With the last film and this film, just instantly, I started doing a whoopee count. We got up to 3 on this one.
Yeah, every lady besides the sheriff again. This time it was like minus the sheriff, but last one was all the ladies. But this one was like even just a random lady too.
I was surprised the old lady from the last one didn't show anything. Do you think this franchise has more sex scenes than Friday the 13th? Because it sure feels like it.
I mean, I think Friday the 13th only has like 1 per, don't they?
It doesn't feel like a lot.
Yeah, I think they only have like 1 or like 1 couple usually. Or 2. This has been like 3 each time. Wrong
Turn is just lapping them with the sex scenes.
I don't know why.
I don't think a Halloween would come close. I don't think
no.
I don't know. There's no other franchise I can think of really.
No.
This is the one. Oh my god. You had a really good point about when did you say it? It was something about like this feels like a Spirit Halloween or something like that.
I think you said that.
Was that what I?
Oh, yeah, you said that.
A Halloween set or something like that. Like it feels like.
Oh yeah, it felt. Well, I mean, it felt like you said it was like stunts from a Halloween. Like the one set looked like just like a Halloween scene, a haunted house scene.
Yeah, it's a haunted house scene.
And then like from there on, every scene looked like that.
Yeah,
every scene's like you felt like you were walking along a path. And first, you get to the hillbillies' cabin.
right.
Then you go to the police station. Then here's this was it like the power?
Oh yeah, the power plant.
The power plant where like the guy gets electrocuted.
What'd you think?
Which is like your good stunt, and then you get
the kills, the gore in this one, better or worse than Last Resort?
it's better. Yeah, I think so.
Quite a bit better.
I think so.
Everything felt like, so the way I was describing when we were watching it was like, whenever like a Halloween store pops up, like you kind of, at least me, I like to go to like the big animatronics, the real expensive shit, just to see like what it looks like. And every scene, every big kill felt like one of those big animatronics.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember there was a place called Foy's. Did you ever go to Foy's?
Yes.
They had a couple of those big animatronics. Like they had the guy in like the electric chair. All of those kills in this movie feel like something you would buy for like your home haunt or like your front yard during Halloween time.
Foy's is still there too. It's still like booming because we went there a couple years ago.
Did you?
It's still for Halloween. It's still amazing.
Yeah, if you ever get the chance to go to Foy's, what town? It's like near.
It's not.
It's like Fairborn or Fairfield or something.
It might be Fairborn
in Ohio.
Yeah.
And during Halloween time, it is real lit over there. The whole street's decorated.
Yeah, because they got that, and then across the street they have a haunted house, which is jumping too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but Foy's is awesome.
It's fun to go to during Halloween time.
But anyway, what were you saying?
So the big kills. There was some really cool set pieces.
Oh yeah, like the electrocution felt like it was like a.
That felt like a big scene.
Yeah, and then like the guy cooking in the barrel, you kind of like picture like the hole in the thing being the eyeball. Mm-hmm. You could kind of picture like it shaking and be like, "Oh, get me out of here!
Get me out of here! Get me out of here!"
like Haunted Mansion style.
The electrocution scene I thought was pretty interesting. So,
yeah, like I said, like it was a good stunt. It was like an actual stunt.
So like for the viewers, like what I mean to break it down in simplest terms, they're in this like I think it's like the power plant or something like that. Like we couldn't tell if it was like the police that we were watching.
Because because the guy gets electrocuted was a cop. I guess he was a security guy.
He had like a baton on him.
Yeah.
But the hillbillies who always have rope on them. That is an absolute monster, like, can't leave home without it kind of situation. They hoist this guy up in the power facility up to these power lines and just grill him. And he's getting buzzed for like 45 seconds or something like that. But it looked great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought it was real effective. The other scene that really jumped out to me on this one was the scene where they had the guy hands and feet tied to the back of the truck. And they started slamming his knees, his legs with hammers. Set to a, and I gotta ask you about the score here. Set to a killer electric guitar cover of "Working on the Railroad." So it was like, and they're just slamming his knees, and he's like, screaming.
The wailing guitar of the score was amazing.
I did not expect that.
No, because it's usually like fiddles.
Yeah,
just because it was West Virginia. But yeah, it was just like every time a kill would come along, it was just like, like, what is that?
It was like
that is a choice. Somebody made a choice like this.
Yeah, I don't know why they made that choice because it felt like like some '80s cop thing. Like he comes home tired and he's like, wow.
It sounded very like free music-y type of thing.
Yeah,
like, it felt like you just pulled it off the internet.
Or they have like I feel like. The director probably had like a friend with a guitar that had like a Floyd Rose system, so he could just do like the dive bomb,
which I've employed in the past as well for short films. Like a lot of my friends are like musicians. Someone was like, "Hey, you do this music,
do it,"
and no matter what it is, I'm like, "That's fine, just throw it in."
Yeah, why not? It's a free little piece. Everyone likes a little '80s electric guitar.
Yeah,
little Steve Vai action.
Yes,
They did abandon the fiddle though, which was sad to or whatever.
Well, I guess they brought it back. I guess we'll see if it's since we're going the other way.
I don't know what I could do. Like if you put a gun to my head and ask me what the score is going to be like for the next one, I have no idea.
Guitars.
I have no idea. There was another kill. So we got the cooked alive barrel scene which followed a real sick action stunt. The building explodes. The thrift shop across the street. And the cop goes flying,
I'm not sure what makes it explode though, because it's just old stuff in there.
Well, they poured a bunch of gasoline and canisters around it. That was their thing. The funny thing was they in this film, the cop and one of the survivors hears this guy screaming. They're across the street in the police station with the door closed. They hear this guy across the street in another building in the basement screaming. Like
he's in a canister too.
And he's in a canister.
Big drum. Yeah.
So this town has paper thin walls.
Yes.
You can hear.
Like, what is that? What is that?
The
And the building's on fire too, so it's like, you must be over there. Like, what's on fire?
I
Like,
hope so. I hope he's in there.
Great detective work, Sheriff.
Nothing gets past you, Sherlock.
Yes.
They almost set up the movie, and I was really hoping they went in this direction of setting up like a Rio Bravo.
Yeah, I was waiting for it, but then they just kept leaving.
Yeah, this movie had. Do you think if the movie had started out Wrong Turn, there's a music festival going here, but actually, the power goes out, and, everyone's over here except for a few survivors over there. The hillbillies are trying to get their friends out. Wrong Turn, Rio Bravo.
Fuck yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I'd see that.
Why did they not go that direction?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, because they could do it because the hillbillies in the first one, I thought they were very, and that's the other thing is I keep trying to connect this to the first one because that's where we're going. We know where the finish line is.
This is before the first.
Oh my god!
You always got to think of that too. It's like this is supposedly before that one.
That sucks, man. I wish you didn't point that out because
yeah, everything
is so ass backwards. Because in the first one, they're very okay. So what I think. And I could be wrong. Maybe I watched the first one with the rose-colored glasses. I know we did a re-review for it during like one of the Halloween Can We Go, so it wasn't that far from memory. But I remember them being like pretty strong because they're just doing nothing but physical labor all day. They had nothing to do but shoot bow and arrows and drive.
Weren't they like really tall too? Or wasn't one of them really tall?
I remember them being big.
Yeah,
they were really big, really strong, very very menacing. In this one. They are absolutely Looney Tunes, like
legit, like cartoon Looney Tunes.
Like if I wouldn't get like a copyright strike on TikTok, well, you know what? Maybe I'll go for it. Why not? I think you get a couple strikes. You could literally show a death scene and then right afterwards go ba da 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 da, and it would just work because of how ridiculous what they did.
Because they just run off laughing most of the time too.
It's a lot of giggling. It's a lot of giggling. You mentioned something else. This movie is also like kind of Saw-esque.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just setting up booby traps after booby. Like where and how and why?
I know they just cause like they have all this time to just set up traps. Like the one husband trap was the best because he's sitting in the car, like he's strapped and like apparently he's got like a knife near his stomach.
It's like a hook, like it's almost going to hook his belly button and slice him up.
And if the sheriff comes and opens the door, he's going to slice him open. So he's like, and of course he's like tied up and like
duct tape. You can't say.
And she rips that door open so fast, it just goes zoom, like guts him, and she's like, "Oh no!" And she's like starts trying to put him back in. I was like, just shut the door. Maybe it'll be reversed.
She is the worst detective. Yeah. Like they're not even trying to like hide the wires. Like there's a pulley system right above his forehead.
Yeah, he's like strung up. It's just like she's just like mink.
Yeah, she rips the door, but like she's starting a lawnmower. Yes. She's just
and she's carjacking him. Yeah, I don't know. It's
like she's carjacking.
Like it's getting carjacked. It's like. I need your car.
But again, we're as ridiculous as it is, which it is. It's really silly. It's really funny. Like terrible to like. It takes the audience 0.7 seconds to just look. She has like a gun. She could have just pistol whipped the window, shot the window.
She could have taken like a second.
If she had taken exactly, if she had taken a second, she could have just went. Oh, I'll just use the other door.
Yeah,
just go.
Or just like I'll just remove the knife from his belly because it was all like ropes anyway.
Yeah,
so like I'll just move this over here. Blink, there you go.
How funny if it would have been if she would have went to the other door and just like completely like foiled that.
Yeah, if you went to the other door, what are they gonna do?
They didn't plan for that.
No.
They only planned for the driver's side door.
She comes in through the trunk.
Yeah, exactly. Suck it. Again though, The cut.
Yeah.
And a lot of intestines in this one.
They like the intestines.
And Wrong Turn is a big intestines.
It's like one swipe and there's just intestines.
Yeah, there's 20 feet. You can practically jump
always
rope.
just like
It's like the magic trick. Where
they always constantly pull them out. It's like
they love to pull it out. In the truck scene though, it looked great. Like it looked like a legitimate slice up the you know the belly and shit was falling out.
it looked nice, yeah.
This movie for as wonky as the story was and like the screenwriting and like a lot of the dialogue, like for being like a $1 million B movie, they got the one thing that I think the majority of horror fans want, which is the gore.
Yeah, go. And it like moves fast enough.
Hour and a half
For sure, yeah.
Hour and a half.
Yes.
They don't walk you that extra half hour for some shitty exposition.
I'm assuming it's like 125 with credit. Like credits are like a good 4 or 5 minutes.
I think it was like 1:30 and like 20 seconds. Like it was like they were very, which they made those credits last.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's probably about a good 4 minutes of credits as well. So you got like 125 of them.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. No, I think yeah. Because when the credits roll that slow, they're doing it so they can hit that 90-minute mark. That like we need to hit 90 minutes for the studio.
Yeah. We have in our contract. It's got to be 90.
It's got to be 90 minutes. So make it crawl. Make it crawl for it.
Because I feel like it started faster, but then I noticed it's like I think they're slowing down.
Yeah.
I think like halfway through, they play like one half of one song, and then I think when the second song comes on, I think it got slower.
Did it?
I think so.
Oh my god. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about Wrong Turn 5. It's definitely an upgrade. Let me ask you this. Stacking up against the last two films, because the only thing we really have to compare it to from recent memory.
Yeah.
I can try to compare it. And believe me, when we were watching this one, I was looking up the Stan Winston designs of the ones from the first one and just reminiscing, like, man, they looked.
Remember when
they had some subtlety to them. They were lit very well.
Yeah.
Let's stack this up against the last two. It's obviously better.
Yeah.
Did the other two do anything better in their films than this one?
I don't think so. I think the last one was made better.
The remake.
Yeah. The last like 2000. Yeah, what was it? It was made better for sure, but it was way too long and
it kind of
made zero sense.
Took the life out of Wrong Turn.
Yeah, it didn't have any of the hillbillies, and it was just like a weird.
The Hill Lickers.
Yeah, it was.
I did not know they were called the Hill Lickers until the last episode.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life not knowing.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Well, I don't think they. Yeah. Then like you had the Bob Vila guy. He was great.
The world's most handsome villain.
Oh my god, he was.
He was good. You know what I will say? I think stacking them against the last two.
Yeah. They're getting better.
They're definitely getting better. I think the remake was probably like one of the like better shot ones, just because they probably had a better budget or just from time, maybe a better camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it looked better. I think the gore in this one was better than both of them.
Yeah.
It was this one actually felt like effective. I don't think in either of the previous films I felt like I wanted to wince from the gore.
Yeah.
Like even like we were just talking about that fish hook scene. Even when that happens, like when it slices up, like I kind of had like one of those internal ooh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think this one has some of the more effective gore and blood and guts.
Yeah, and for the last one too. The last one, there's a lot of talking in the last one. I mean, this one had share of just like nonsense dialogue. But not as much as the last one, and not as much as the last one before that. And so at least it like keeps that brisk as well.
Yeah,
like it keeps all that stuff just kind of moving. So it's just like stuff's happening. Most of it doesn't make any sense, but at least it's moving, and like there's some nice effects. And that's what you're there for.
And the dialogue you're getting is being delivered by Doug Bradley.
Yes, some of it, yes.
So, yeah, and there's a Hannibal Lecter shot too. There's one shot towards the end of the movie where it's like him in between some bars, and it's a Hannibal Lecter. I don't know how else to describe it. Like
I'm sure that's what they said too on set.
Oh, you know that's how they felt when they shot.
You could pick out like the day out, and be like, this is gonna be our Hannibal.
This is the Hannibal shot.
Yeah,
and it looks.
This is our scream shot. Let's do it.
And yeah, they had their scream shot at the beginning. They had their Hannibal Lecter shot here.
Because she was like dressed like a neon yellow. No, what was she dressed in?
She was dressed like Bruce Lee.
No, well that was when she was running. She had to run to like blow off steam. But I think she was in like a blue. Wasn't she in like blue, almost like Courtney Cox?
Yeah.
in Scream.
That's
She
probably
might have been. She might have been even dressed like
that's
similar.
well, she was dressing like all of her icons. So she was
Yeah.
dressed like Bruce Lee and Courtney Cox from Scream. Which, just to talk about the news reporter, she's like, I'm gonna go on a run to pull off some steam.
Again,
She's
the running again.
she doesn't look like she knows how to run,
fuck?
but it's also
Yeah,
like,
she looked like she's never run before in her life.
yeah, you can tell that's an actor. They're like, what the fuck is this shit? They're gonna be running on set. They're gonna be running on set today, but it's just like the most aimless path through the forest. And I was like, you're gonna get lost.
She's like running through the trees. I'm like,
Just
there's no path.
Just randomly.
Yeah.
There's no path, no nothing. Like, she for sure would have got lost. In fact, that was the opportunity, and I'm surprised we haven't said this yet. I know we have said this, but I get upset every time I think about it. That was the opportunity for her to make a wrong turn.
Yeah.
She could have been on a path,
No.
and then it was like, oh, path's closed. Oh, well, I guess I'll go this way, and
Yeah.
then boom,
Wrong turn.
we got a wrong turn, and then that's all we need. No wrong turn in this movie.
No wrong turns.
No wrong turn in this movie, and I'm gonna be sick if we have to go to a fourth film with no wrong turn. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
That's all I
If
ask.
we get to the last one, that's the only one that makes
That's
it. Wrong turn.
But what you were saying earlier about like what the movie did right. Honestly, like if these movies just didn't try to do the whole there's a music festival. Like that's what makes the first one so good, right?
It's like you're asking for like you're setting yourself up for failure because you're saying this is a huge music festival and there's like 10 people in the streets.
Yeah.
Like it's not like come on.
The most expensive set, or what day do you think was more expensive? The day where they had all the background extras at the beginning during the Scream shot, and the street and their set was filled of extras, or the explosion the explosion and the cop going flying, or the car crashes.
I think it was probably the people.
That's a lot of mouths to feed. That's so.
I'm trying to choreograph some of that stuff. Like,
Oh,
and they had a couple of stuff where the people were still just like, yeah, they did like a scene there. So it's like, I bet you that was a expensive day.
and while all these people are walking in what we're calling the Scream shot, which is one of the first shots, there's like one random car trying to weave its way through.
yeah. It was like, what-
And I'd be so nervous to be that
Yeah.
background person. They're like, okay, we just need you to drive through a crowd slow.
which would be would be blocked off. Like if people were walking in the streets, it should be blocked off.
They didn't block that off.
If it's a festival, it should be blocked off.
They were, oh yeah, no. I think meant like blocking with the actors. I'm like,
No.
oh, they definitely did. They definitely didn't have time
No.
for that.
No, but if it was a festival, it would be blocked off.
Yeah. So that was kind of. There's just a lot of really funny things, like production wise, that
Yeah.
I kind of think, to be honest, work in its favor to give it that B movie feel. I keep viewing this as, for some reason, I'm being a lot more fair to this film, and I'm not sure why. I keep watching this one. It's like it was a fun movie. I didn't do that for the last one, and I don't think the other one was a B movie. I think that was like a legitimate kind of try. I don't know. I think that's interesting that I'm feeling that way.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
don't
feel that
know.
way?
Yeah. It's a weird. I don't know. Yeah, I get that vibe too, but I can't put my finger on why this one is.
Different.
Yeah,
Maybe because it was more self-contained or
I
something
think
like that.
maybe.
I don't know. But before I went on that weird self-exploration of how I feel about this movie,
Yes.
all you gotta do with Wrong Turn is keep it simple.
Yeah.
Don't add any of the bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the first one, at least, and I'll be curious to see how it is moonwalking into it
Yeah.
the way we are, docking it back into the first one. Maybe it changes something. Maybe I don't know. But I feel like keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of the problems have been the explanations of all of the nonsense. It's like you don't need that. It's like it's not necessary.
You're in the woods.
What was it? I mean, this one was basically like 3 crazed hillbillies. Like, and she even said that in the chef when she was calling for help on the CB. 3 crazed hillbillies have taken over a town. I'm like, well, that's basically what happened. Like somehow 3 hillbillies have taken over an entire town.
And these people have guns.
Yeah.
I don't know how they. I don't know.
This guy's got like a knife and like a bow and arrow and a shovel, I think.
I want to make a horror movie that's like Wrong Turn, but instead of the 3 hillbillies, it's like 3 actual Looney Tunes. Because I feel like, this is actually probably the prototype of that movie. Like, I cannot stress enough how Looney Tunes these people are, which is just so jarring because in the first one they're frightening.
Well, that reminds me of like when they're at the hotel, and one of them comes knocking at the door.
Oh, and 6.
No, this one.
On this one? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
remember
oh my
that?
god, the moat. Yeah.
He opens up. He's like, "What's going on? You drunk?" Blah blah. And she shuts the door. Knock knock knock. And he gets up again. It's the other one. It's like you're waiting for the next one to be like Elmer Fudd in the dress. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
You. I'm like
Housekeeping.
Yeah. It's like
It's actually a better so last time we were telling the listeners, if you go into 6 and no one gets shot in Bulgaria,
That helps.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You rinse and repeat. This one's
Yeah.
the same thing. I think it makes it better. I think to add on to that, knowing this was shot in Bulgaria on clearly like a back lot that they built for whatever, watch it knowing that these 3 are Looney Tunes.
Yes.
And I think that makes this that makes this movie like absolutely perfect.
Yeah. For some reason, I love the sets. Like, I've noticed that in a couple other movies, like recent movies too, like where they've shot on, like, I know the Universal set. So it's almost like every time I see that, I'm like, oh, I know it's a set, but I like what they did with it. It's like, oh, cool. They like at least they tried.
Right.
I mean, this one they didn't really try. they
they
just shot on, so like whatever set was like, yeah, this is
exactly
this
yes,
is it.
Yes,
we're shooting on this. Perfect.
They didn't change anything.
You want to dress it? Nope. Let's go.
Nope. Dressing costs money. We got nothing.
Put that truck at the end of that scene, that street, quote unquote, and that will be the alley, and that's it.
Yeah, there's this one semi truck that is just blocking off an exit, like blocking off a street, and you know that's just where they built it. That was it.
Because after that's like Crafty.
Yeah.
Crafty's over that way.
Yeah, just like porta potties, and now
Yes.
you can video village over there. Oh my god. So I guess we answered my last question was we do feel like these movies are getting better.
Yes.
Definite improvements.
I think so.
Do you think we are going to enjoy 4 more than we've enjoyed 5? Hot prediction. We're kind of blind to knowing. There's really no way to know other than what your gut's telling you.
I think so.
I agree.
These last 3 are directed by the same guy, so I feel like he's going for some sort of like Lord of the Rings of the Wrong Turn trilogy.
You mentioned that this is his. You said it during the movie. You're like, this is his Return of the King.
Return of the King. Yes. So like I felt like a little more like I felt a little more like kind of passion behind the project than the other ones.
So that means that
Next
4
one.
should be Two Towers.
Two Towers, yeah.
And that
the Empire.
Yeah, that was For some reason, I was thinking Empire, but then I was like, no, it's Two Towers, which are both a win in my book because I anything.
It's the Godfather Part 2.
It's the Oh, I didn't get. I'm still sad about that. I messed up the timing of. I accidentally bought tickets to see The Godfather 2 on Easter, and I offered them for free on Facebook. No one took them.
Nobody took him.
Nobody took them.
I have no friends, or I would have gone.
Yeah, you were like really my only hope.
Yeah,
and I think Josh was out of town, but so 4.
I remember seeing. Because it was like the 20th anniversary of House of a Thousand Corpses, right? This past couple weeks, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Right?
They just at the Arrow. They just had a Q&A.
And I remember specifically seeing that when it came out, and it was Easter Sunday. We were in like Arizona for a film festival. I had short playing somewhere, so we went to Arizona. But like that Sunday, it was like there's a movie theater. I was like, let's go see House of a Thousand Corpses. So we saw that for like Easter. So
I think
so now I always remember that because like 20th, like when it says 20th anniversary, I'm like I know exactly where I was. I was seeing House of a Thousand Corpses in this random Arizona theater on Easter.
I think it's a thing that they do there because I saw Darcy the Mail Girl say like, "Hey, I went to go see it for Joe Bob." Like I guess they must have been talking about it. So I guess it's a thing. We ought to go. Well. Good luck. We always have like dinner reservations somewhere. I don't think I'll be able to. I want to be able to make it, but I don't know if I will be. It's wishful thinking. So, 4 should have the Wrong Turn equivalent of a Battle of Hoth.
Yes, or the tower,
or a Helm's Deep.
Helm's Deep, yeah.
That is quite the order, and
it was you all along Fredo, like a Fredo moment.
Oh my god! So I
want to see some Fredo.
We really just did an unfortunate thing for this poor movie.
Yeah.
We just set the bar
so
high. Okay, to end this podcast, let me just look up.
It's gonna be the Highlander 2, The Quickening of. No, that movie sucks.
Wrong Turn 4. Yes. So just some off the rip kind of stuff here. It's a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. Same director as he said.
R.I.P. for that guy too. He's no longer with us.
Oh, that's sad.
Declan O'Brien, yeah. So.
Damn. Budget of $2 million.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure, and let me just see what the budget for Wrong Turn 5 was. I'm pretty sure I saw it was $1 million. 1.5. Okay, so we're getting an extra $500,000. We're gonna see what an extra $500,000 can do.
And some inside baseball on that. 1.5 is basically like 300 grand to shoot.
What? Oh my god! Because you have to pay.
Everything else is but the actual production is like a third of that. So when you think about that, then you're like, okay, it looks like a $300,000 movie.
Whoa.
So yeah.
That okay. So like, I've been watching some movies and then feeling. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go on a side tangent. But it ties into that. I think I sent it to you on TikTok, but I sent it to Jenny as well because we just saw Kill Bill at the New Bev, and the song that plays at the end with like the pan flute, the very Western song. I saw a live version of that on TikTok, and I had this. Hearing the song just by itself played live made me feel the actual weight of that last scene in Kill Bill way more. Like I understood it, story wise and other stuff, but for some reason listening to the song solo and what that song made me feel translated so well to what the movie was and what Tarantino was going for that like I saw the ending in a brand new light and like I got goosebumps and shit because like even while I was reading it, somebody posted it. It was a Hanzo. What's his name? Hanzo something sword, wasn't it? And reading that gave me chills. So I retroactively just fell in love with the ending of Kill Bill again.
Yeah.
What you just said about that inside baseball information of $1.5 million is $300,000 makes me. I don't know how those feelings are gonna play out, but it makes me feel a lot different than the last two movies.
Yeah. At least that's the way I've been told, and that's what I go on as well.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. That's fighting uphill.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Because when you pay after everybody's been paid, you only have a certain amount of money to like actually do it.
Oh my goodness.
Like once you've paid everybody, so I was like, you've only got like however much to like get.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. So we're going into 4 with some pretty high hopes.
But Bulgaria probably helps too because it's like the money there goes a little further, I think.
And it's like English actors, probably. The acting was substantially better. It is because Doug Bradley's in there, so we don't.
Doug Bradley, and then the sheriff had like a weird accent, so we found her and she's English as well.
Oh, and the doctor that they lock in a jail cell.
The doctor,
he was
the local West Virginia doctor.
Yeah,
you all good now? Please let me out of cage. I'm like, who is this guy?
He had a thick ass accent. He couldn't hide that with military grade camo, man. You couldn't. It was thick.
I was waiting for him to like turn into some sort of evil doctor at the end or something. One of the hillbilly guys.
Yeah, no.
He was so sinister.
No.
Like, he was just like, you all good now, stitched up.
Well, when you look at the credits, there's a lot of Vitches, Ivanovs, like yes. just a lot of V's in the credits.
A couple of Stankoviches, yeah.
Yeah, there was a Stankovich, so that's probably where the cost cutting comes in. That's what makes 300,000 for like 350,000.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like it's a good place to wrap this up. I feel good on our journey. I'm not tired at all. I'm actually getting more excited for the films as we keep going backwards.
Yeah.
You feel the same way?
I think so. This trilogy, I'm very excited about because it's
these 3 films.
It's a bold choice to have to do the 3 of them in a row. Like this guy wrote and directed these 3, so it's like he had a vision.
So like out of the 7,
this
films,
guy had like a vision. He's like, I know where to take Wrong Turn. And he had like 3.
He got the reins of Wrong Turn 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
He's
I just took it.
Let me take the wheel, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna be excited to see these next 2 in particular because of that.
Yeah.
But then to piece them together in my head of like, okay, let's see how this works out.
Hopefully they start connecting more, which will be nice.
I think
instead
they
of just like these three have not connected whatsoever.
There was really nowhere for these 3 to connect.
No.
There's nothing.
I would love to see it, but
I mean, you would think between 7 and 6 makes the most sense because one's a remake and the other one was like but okay, fine. Absolutely zero room for connection between 6 and 5.
No, neither one makes No.
There's zilch there. You can't find it. Good luck, Chuck. It's never happening.
No. But,
Okay, well, I feel good. I feel strong. I'm ready to
Yeah.
go into. What's the name of Wrong Turn 4 again? It's Wrong Turn 4. Bloody Beginnings.
okay.
I like that. 2011.
What's the third one then called?
One of them was called Left 4. I think the second one's called Left 4 Dead. Oh no, the third one's called Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Third one's Left 4 Dead, then fourth is Bloody Beginnings.
yeah. We're doing Bloody Beginnings, Left 4 Dead, Dead End, and then Wrong Turn. I like that.
OG.
And if you like this podcast, give us some support. Follow us on Instagram. I've been blowing up the Instagram lately. I love the Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. I'm gonna figure that out. In the meantime, review on Apple iTunes.
Yeah.
All you got to do, and I like to set up challenges sometimes for the reviewers, because writing a review is, normally you just got to write a couple things. I like this episode. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna make it so easy for the listeners today. This is so easy. You can do
Just
it.
copy and paste. All right.
Really, it's that simple. 5 stars on Spotify. I don't think you have to do anything for that. That's easy. Follow us there. Apple iTunes. That's the bread and butter. That's where we really feel it. 5 stars. All right. If it's 4, I understand, but we know in your heart it's 5.
It's 5.
And that's fine. All you got to comment is what one of the hillbillies says in this movie, and that's just he. Just several he's, and that's it. You don't have to explain anything. Let the people at Apple figure it out. It's between them and God.
Until your letter threshold's met.
Yeah, actually, yes. That's actually, yeah. It actually has to be that many. Just go to town, because if you type all that, you've written the dialogue of that character for the past 2 films.
Yeah.
And you're on your way to screenwriting. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay, there we
Just
go.
put fade in.
Fade in. Fade out.
Yeah. No credits.
There it is. That's all it is, and it's that simple.
That's simple, guys.
It's that simple. And speaking of simple, we'll end it there, and we'll see you guys next time at Wrong Turn. Let me get it right. For Bloody Beginnings. They're beginning
in the middle.
Oh my God! This is like this is its own multiverse. Almost.
It is.
I feel like we keep diving into histories that don't exist.
We need a chart. Some sort of chart.
I'll ask the listeners.
Okay.
They're way smarter.
Make a chart.
They're way smarter than you and I at this. They can actually do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna end it there before I have another existential breakdown. See you next time. Bye, guys. Watch a bunch of horror movies. Stay scary. Bye.
May I have your attention, please?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I don't know what to feel anymore.
Horror. Something even more terrible than you.